여자 밤이 오면 가슴이 뜨거워지는 여자 그런 반전 있는 여자 나는 사랑해 낮에는 너만큼 따사로운 그런 사랑해 커피 식기도 전에 원샷 때린 사랑해 밤이 되면 심장이 터져버리는 사랑해 그런 사랑해
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Anywhere But Here. This is episode 20. I'm Tom.
And I'm Ant.
And we're listening to
J.S. Lee.
Yep, J.S. Lee's version of Size Smash Hit. I think you'll agree.
It's pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, I think it's almost better than the original.
It is nice, chilled, sort of jazzy
style.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
We will put the links to that obviously on our
on the website. On the
I don't
blog.
know if we need to because they've got nearly 30 million views.
Yeah, they need
seems
to
be
put,
quite popular.
I think they need to put our video up on their site.
Yeah, I think what needs to happen is all our listeners need to go over and watch that video and say ABH Pod sent me.
That would be amazing if you could.
Yeah, abhpod.com sent me. If they get like 30 million views, I think we're gonna.
Even if we got 1% of 30 million views, that's still like 300,000 new people, right?
Are we going to try and attempt to do maths again on the podcast? No. It never goes well.
We always get it wrong. But yeah, so that's going to be up on the website, which is www.abhpod.com.
It is indeed. Very well done, Tom. You got it this week.
I got it this week.
Yeah.
We've also got Twitter's. We've got one for the podcast, which is at abhpod.
Yes, personal ones. I'm Hey It's Ant.
And I'm Hey It's Me Tom. We've also got a YouTube, which we've kind of mentioned.
youtube.com/ABH podcast. And we'll post links and everything there.
Yeah, where there is no, I was going to say where there is a thing, but the survey is on the website, isn't it?
Yeah, abhpod.com. If you go abhpod.com, there is a survey. That is the only thing on the front page. And somebody did take that survey actually, and I've closed it. Oh well, no, it doesn't matter, does it? Because it's anonymous.
Exactly, it's completely anonymous. But
did
get.
If you're wondering, that's where that comes from.
Yeah, behind us we now have a pin board, a cork board, which we have. We're going to start putting our favourite quote of the week up on the cork board now, and our quote for the week this week is.
Yeah, kills time like a boss.
Yeah, apparently our
that's one of the likes, like in the satisfaction survey. Apparently, kills time like a boss, but. They also, that same person, I imagine, did say it's also quite quiet, which is why we might be a bit louder in your ears this week.
We definitely hope we are a bit louder. We look louder on our equipment here.
Yes.
I think it's ever since I bought us these pop shields.
Yeah, I think they've reduced the volume a little bit.
Yeah, so we've sorted the levels out, we hope. We've definitely sorted the levels out here. I mean, I am really loud in my ear at the moment.
Yeah, and our headphone dial isn't turned up as loud as it normally is either.
No. So with any luck, that's fixed. If not, then we'll try and fix it again for next week.
Yeah. There's a survey on our website. Also, in the top right-hand corner, there is a Amazon link.
There is.
Yes, and somebody brought Man Skills through it.
Yeah. Thank you to whoever that was.
Yeah, we don't get paid for it, but it's quite cool to see that our advertising works.
You spent a penny on the book, which is fine.
Yeah, not pissed on the book.
Yeah. No.
You didn't spend a penny on it. Oh, God.
No, not that kind of spending a penny.
Also, other stuff that's happened due to our podcast is my dad actually watched Machete, which we mentioned last week, and he said it was good. He said it was very good. And I spoke to Corky about it last night, who said, yeah, it's so bad. It's good.
Yeah,
it's meant to be bad. It's one of those sort of like violent for the sake of being violent. Steven Seagal sort of massive explosions, just walks through the fire.
Yeah. Lots of people getting dismembered and stuff.
Yes.
With gigantic knives.
Yeah.
Machetes. So Machete Kills coming out fairly soon.
Yeah,
which
I do have to watch Machete. It's on Netflix, so and I'm on late this week, so I will have spare hours in the morning.
Sounds like a plan.
So I think I'll be watching Machete this week.
Yeah, nice one. So, Robbie Rodriguez should give us a shout as well, really.
Yeah.
But that's enough of us trying to whore ourselves out, I think. We've also had other people actually send in ideas for the show, which is Not new, but we've had multiple.
Yeah. Yeah, this is not just Joe this week.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing.
Shall I bring
we've
one
had
up?
quite a few. Do you
is it
want
me or is it you? You were talking about something else you've had. I'm talking about the non-news I was sent.
Yeah, what was I sent?
Oh no. I just lost your train of thought for you, haven't I?
Yeah.
Was there something you were going to bring
No,
up?
not at all.
Oh, okay, that's what I was saying.
No.
Oh, you were just talking about what I was...
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying you were sent something as well.
No.
I don't know. Yeah, so your friend Ozzie, Chris Osborne,
Yes,
actually sent us some non-news this week.
This is the feature that I started last week.
Yeah, news that's not actually news.
Yeah,
at all.
it's on a news website, but yeah,
the Nottingham
actual
Post.
Oh, the Nottingham Post. Wow.
Bit of local news from Nottingham. A couple returned from holidays to find grass by their street cut to different lengths.
What?
I know.
Does this tie in with UFOs?
This is important. No, nothing quite that bad. A pair of bemused Carlton pensioners returned from holiday to find patches of grass on either side of their street cut at completely different lengths.
Good Lord.
Oh my God. Pensioners.
And that again, that made a news website.
Yeah, and it's not a small story. It's quite a,
it does go on,
a few
doesn't
hundred words. So Bill and Sylvia Fenton of Shelford Road, Carlton, were baffled when they were told it was because one side of the road at the junction with County Road is managed by Notts County Council, while the other is looked after by Gedling Borough Council.
All right, and they've got
so conflicting
different blade lengths.
Yes, but it is because this is important. People need to know this.
I think so.
It is because Gedling Borough Council cuts its grass area 14 times a season. Compared to Notts County Council, which cuts 5 times.
And
they're different season lengths. Gedling Borough Council is between March and October. They get 14. Notts County Council is between April and September, which is only 5.
Good Lord.
So at some points in the year, they might line up and the grass will be the same length.
It's like the planets aligning.
If it's that much of a problem, get a fucking extension cord and cut it yourself.
Yeah.
That is definitely not news.
But it has made the news,
yes.
Miraculously. Obviously, there wasn't a lot going on in Nottingham this week.
Plus, also, they were saying because the weather's been bad, it's encouraged grass growth.
That's true.
So it wouldn't normally be that there wouldn't be that much of a disparity between the two lengths normally. But
disparity.
I know.
Get
me. That's very. Yeah, but see, there you go.
Well, actually, that thing about the grass growing really quick is obviously it's accurate because we cut the grass. I don't know. It was a couple of weeks back now, but within a week it was already back to the length that it was before we cut it. Because basically what's happened, because we've had such a cold spring and everything was frozen because it was snowing the whole time, right up until like March or April. The ground underneath, like far underneath the ground where all the roots are, was actually frozen solid still, even though it wasn't frozen on the surface.
On the surface, but it's retained its...
Obviously what's happened, there's a lot of frozen moisture under there, which is why nothing was growing for ages.
As it thaws out.
So what's happened is the ground, now it's heating up, is thawing out, but all that extra moisture is in the ground, so everything's growing hugely.
There's something you don't know, like hear every day.
Yeah.
You learn stuff on Kills Time Like a Boss and educates the fuck out of you.
Yeah, you learn these stupid pub quiz type facts that you're never gonna.
Oh, was it pub quiz?
No. It was just.
Eggheads.
No, this is something I have noticed. I have witnessed.
Yeah, we get grass, and I hate cutting the grass, so I try and if I can leave it a couple of weeks, I do. But then you get that thing where you're mowing the grass and you mow something, like it just slows down because there's a huge patch. You're not supposed to cut your grass by more than half the length.
Oh, really?
So if it's really long, you've got to cut it a little bit and then a little bit, and just to get it where you want. You're not supposed to go from really long length to small.
Where's the fun in that?
Everyone does, but you're not supposed to. And I think more to save your mower than anything.
Yeah, probably. I would imagine so. But yeah, so that was a piece of non-news. Do we have any more non-news this week?
I don't know if it constitutes non-news, but Holly. That was the empty chair that week.
Yes,
Holly,
a few weeks back.
If you saw the video, that was the empty chair, was Holly.
Mm-hmm.
Want to live rent-free? How do you feel about dressing as a walrus?
Okay.
This is Brighton. Yeah, Brighton. This is Gumtree, which we mentioned last week, which is our version of Craigslist.
Mm-hmm.
A Gumtree user is offering one person to the chance to live in Brighton rent-free as long as they agree to dress up as a walrus for 2 hours every day. Why?
Yeah, why? Just why?
Yes, the advert on the Classifieds website. Oh, so it does have classified ads as well, which I wasn't sure about last week. It explains that an unnamed seller has chosen to retire in Brighton after leading a long and interesting life, some of which was spent just off the coast of Alaska with a walrus called Gregory. So basically, this guy lived off of Alaska, and he befriended a walrus.
Right.
And he's retired now, and obviously he misses his walrus, and he loved spending. So this person they don't only have to dress up as a walrus, they have to act like a walrus, they have to eat like a walrus, like they have to eat raw fish and things like that.
That's,
I believe it says,
a bit strange.
Yeah, the lodger will also have to catch and eat fish and crabs that I will occasionally throw to you whilst you are being the walrus in order to qualify for a spacious double bedroom and complete run of the house.
That's got to be some sort of fucking
2
fetish,
hours a day. No, but it's like,
yeah, but
they say the average price of a house in Brighton is 200,000.
True.
You could get a free house
just for dressing up as a walrus and acting like a walrus. But
and it's only 2 hours a day, and it doesn't specify what hours a day, so you could have a full-time job as well.
Yeah, that's true. As long as you eat
so
raw
you
fish.
could do it for a year, save yourself a year's rent,
and
just save up all of your money. I wouldn't do it.
No, I don't think I would either. I mean, the thing is,
I don't know if that constitutes non-news. That's just weird.
It's just strange.
Yeah, that's on Metro website, actually. But yeah, naturally, the seller wishes to audition all applicants before agreeing to take the chosen candidate. How many people do you think are going to audition for that?
And how good is your walrus impression?
That takes furries to a whole new level.
Yeah, it really does, doesn't it?
If you don't know furries, it's a fetish of people that like to dress up as animals.
Yeah. It's all a little bit weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if it constitutes non-news, but that was quite funny.
It's amusing news.
Yes.
Amusing news and non-news. Yeah. Two separate things. Yeah.
I don't know how people find these stories, because I kind of look around on news and I don't ever find anything that out there and that funny. So
I know. I mean, I have another news story that I brought up a couple of weeks ago, but we haven't really had the time to kind of, go over it. But as we're doing funny news and stuff, this is from the Huffington Post website, as most of our news is. The
I
headline,
seeing that on your screen last week.
The headline of the piece is semen health benefits. It really does have all the nutrients of a protein shake. Basically, so fructose, sugar, water, ascorbic acid, citric acid, enzymes, protein, zinc, and more. Those are nutrients found in human male ejaculate. New research found that numerous species consume semen for its health benefits, and human seed might as well be viable as a superfood. Female squid, for example, consume excess sperm as if it were food. So do carrion flies, certain types of leeches, picture wing flies, and other creatures. Nothing primate there. Just fish and flies.
Anything, stuff that doesn't have a natural hunting instinct, I should imagine.
Yeah, basically.
Not going to get your protein from meat, so
anything, left over from mating. For the first time, scientists have started tracking how these species utilise the nutrients in sperm. The study was published in the journal Biology Letters by lead author Benjamin Wegener, a researcher at Monash University in Australia. That doesn't necessarily mean humans should start feasting during foreplay, but if we did, there are plenty of resources out there to make the experience more enjoyable.
I've seen plenty of videos where humans do.
yeah, same about blowing bubbles and stuff. There's Semenology, a book dedicated for the bartender in your life who also happens to enjoy concocting semen cocktails. Natural Harvest, on the other hand, is a collection of semen-based recipes and is actually getting good reviews. Heck, even Heather Locklear says it has anti-aging benefits. So, there are...
I'm sure there are plenty of things that have the same benefits that you just wouldn't eat or drink.
But what I'm getting around to saying is, we do occasionally put pressure on people.
I don't think I ever.
No, I don't either. But when we say it's good for you.
It's good for a sore throat, I think, is the one that a lot of people have said in the past. That.
But it's an interesting fact.
So
but again,
if you do ever run into this issue where you're trying to get someone to do something
for you, maybe a special occasion, a birthday,
if they flatly refuse, point them to this article.
But it's
a Discovery News report. So is that Discovery
Discovery
Network?
Discovery Network, yeah. Well, they know what they're talking about.
Yeah, it's not like it's Wikipedia.
And yeah, like you say, there's Semenology, which is a book for making cocktails. From
that could be
spunk.
quite a good joke present, actually.
And also Natural Harvest.
If you don't mind getting a slap.
Well, yeah.
I wonder if they're available on Amazon.
How much would you? Well, they probably are. How much semen would you have to produce in order to make a cocktail or even put it in a recipe? Would it be like a garnish for a salad?
Yeah, I think just put it in like a dressing shake. Just shake it up and pour it over the salad.
I don't know.
Oh.
Just kind of captured my imagination a couple of weeks back.
Oh. Kim Kardashian and Kanye West have had a girl.
They have, yes.
Apparently, there was just a link there, and we've.
I've missed it. Sorry.
It's not important. They're I don't like them.
No,
I don't care.
They'll probably call it some weird name, a bit like Beyonce and Jay-Z called their daughter Blue Ivy.
Yeah.
Weird. It's strange.
Well, Blue Ivy. Kevin Smith called his daughter Harley. But that's cool. It's named after a comic book character.
Yeah, I mean,
Harley
what's
Quinn.
Blue Ivy? It's not Poison Ivy, is it?
No. Yeah, if it was Poison Ivy, I don't think we'd have an issue with that, would we?
No.
Well, it's a bit evil calling your kid Poison Ivy.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Poison is their first name. Maybe not. Other big news this week. The Queen released her birthday honours list.
Yeah, did you listen... when you listened to the podcast which had one of those people on it?
No.
The honours list is the OBEs, the MBEs, and
knighthoods and stuff.
Yeah.
The
Richard Herring's latest one where he had
Mary Beard.
Yeah. Who's
a Republican.
Yeah, it's not a royalist at all, but she's actually received an OBE, hasn't she?
Yeah, because she couldn't refuse it. Really,
yeah.
I mean,
well, you can,
but
like I think her. I do kind of see her reasoning as well, where it's the issue of if you refuse it, you're always going to be that person that refuses it, and you're never going to escape it. If you just accept it, that's it. You've got it. That's out of the way. You don't have to think about it anymore.
Yeah. Whereas, like she was saying, if you're the kind of person who knows that they will never bring it up if they turn it down, then fair enough. But if you're going to be the kind of person who was like, I turned down an OBE,
and you would if you're a Republican, you will. That will be your boast. So you'd have to keep bringing it up.
Yeah. We've got who's got stuff this year. Adele has got an MBE for her services to music.
Really?
I know.
Like 2 albums.
she's had a good year.
She's successful. She's had a good year. She's done a James Bond theme.
Yeah.
She's made 2 albums.
She's got lots of Grammys and all
she's had
sorts
2 albums.
I know, it's
services
ridiculous,
to music.
Yeah,
2 albums.
Yeah, I know.
It's not as if she's done like world changing.
It's not like she's the Rolling Stones who've been around for 60 odd years.
Yeah, and it's not even like she's like Bob Geldof, services to music. He done Live Aid. He done this huge that is services to
music
not just
and charity,
music, but
and
the world and charity. Like, what did she do? Did she change any way you listen to music?
Not at all.
No.
She's
good. Like, I'm not saying she's bad.
No, but
very talented. But
does she deserve an OBE for it?
No,
probably not.
What's the PJ Harvey?
PJ Harvey also has an MBE. Sorry. For services to music. She's been around for a while.
She's been around a long time, but she's not.
She's not mainstream.
She's not mainstream. She's not somebody that would. Like, again, not really changed music.
No, I mean, I like a few of her songs, but I've never bought an album of hers.
No, I have heard a few songs and gone, oh, that's not bad. But it's not made me. I mean, I'd say services to music doesn't necessarily mean changed music. It's just been a successful musician, I suppose. Yeah, and she's been around for a while, but she very rarely wins awards. And I highly doubt the Queen knows who PJ Harvey is.
I would sincerely doubt it, yeah. We've also got Sir Menzies Campbell. He's a Liberal Democrat MP. He becomes a member of the Order of Companions for Honour and Public and Political Service, which is a bit of a mouthful.
Yeah, it's not really like OBE, MBE.
No. It's like almost like Order of the Garter. Is it a thing, really? Is it just a club now?
Don't know what it means.
The Tate Gallery director, Sir Nicholas Serota, has become a member of the Order of Companions for Honour and Services to Art. Again.
Well, I mean, the Tate Gallery is...
It's important.
But, like, is he just the current Tate Gallery director, or is he the person who...
didn't do any research.
Oh no, but that's what I'm saying. If he was the person,
if he was the guy who
was responsible for the Tate Gallery, then yes. If he's just the current director, like,
did he get a specific set of art in?
No, without looking at the previous lists as well, we don't really know. Does every Tate Gallery director?
Well, this is it.
You know, do they all get it?
Who knows? Yeah. I'm not sure. Claire Balding,
I agree with
presenter and journalist, OB for services to broadcasting and journalist. Yeah.
I do agree with it. She's
a hard worker.
Like
she's
horse
done
racing.
horse racing and the Olympics.
Yeah, the Olympics definitely. She's
she was all over that.
But yeah, journalist. She's done a lot.
She introduced the country to Chad Leclos's dad, Bert Leclos, the South African swimmer. Oh, it's brilliant. You'll be able to find it on YouTube. He's this massive, fat South African guy. And he was just... They got him in a few nights during the swimming as well because he was such a popular person.
Oh,
when
really?
He came on. He was like, oh, that's my boy. And like,
there's quite comedy value. Comic relief.
I'll show you the stuff after we've stopped recording.
Yeah.
It's really, really...
We might put
really
the link
funny.
up if we remember as well.
Maybe, yeah. But yeah, like she kind of and then during Sports Personality of the Year, she flew him out to be in the audience as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
He almost became like a mini celebrity for the Olympics.
Yeah. But that's the thing, like that's where she's good because she actually spotted something.
Yeah, exactly. There's
she spotted something that everyone loved, and she knows everyone loves him, so why not?
Just, there's a potential there for
And this thing, because I didn't watch the Olympics, really, like you watched it
constantly,
whereas I didn't, so I missed stuff like that.
Jackie Collins, the writer, has got an OBE for services to fiction and charity. Now, I didn't even know she was still alive. I'm going to be honest.
I think, I don't know. I mean,
she's another one of them, a bit like.
I think I knew she was alive, but she's not someone that's like on the front of my mind.
I guess she's just written so many books that she's got to be recognised at some point, right? Then we've got like Anish Kapoor, the sculptor. He's got a knighthood for services to visual arts.
I'm not art.
Anish Kapoor, it's difficult for me to bring to mind anything that he sculpted, but again, I know the name. Paul Laurie, the golfer, has got an MBE for voluntary service to golf.
Liz would know him because her dad's majorly into golf. So, is there anyone else sort of big?
You got a profession. You got a ceramic artist. You've got Claire Bloom, the actress. Don't know who she. Oh, Hilary Devey off Dragon's Den.
I didn't see the series with her in.
Right.
She's quite. Isn't she?
She's salt of the earth, northern fog.
Gargling salt of the earth.
And she's got a CBE for services to the transport industry and charity.
I mean, she's an entrepreneur. I imagine
she is something to do with Eddie Stobart, I think.
Oh, is she?
She's the managing director of Eddie Stobart.
Well, then, yeah.
Right. I think it's Eddie Stobart. It's one of them big haulage companies, yeah. Rob Brydon, the comedian, has an MBE for services to comedy, broadcasting and charitable services.
Yeah, fair enough.
He does a lot of good work, and I like his man in a box thing.
His man in the box is brilliant. I've tried it. I can't do it.
Can't do it. Former Met police deputy, blah blah. Roger Deakins, the cinematographer, has got a CB for services to film.
See, like we said before, I'm not majorly into the behind the scenes of film people, so I should know who he is.
Christian Horner, the team principal of Red Bull, which is the F1 team, has got an OB for services to motorsport. It's strange though because Red Bull are an Austrian team.
Are they?
He is British, but I suppose maybe. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, he's been in charge of that team since its inception quite a few years ago, and recently, I mean, they've won the last 3 Constructors World Championships and Drivers World Championships. I mean,
so they've been quite successful. And
they are
he
dominant.
Would have a lot to do with it.
Yeah, he's shaped that entire team.
See, that's the only person you've kind of gone.
No.
Shows your passion for F1.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Like you know exactly why he's got it.
I can give you a bit of history into that one. Aled Jones, the Walking in the Air singer, has got an MBE for services to music and broadcasting and for charitable services. Although I say he sang Walking in the Air, he didn't, did he? It was another kid.
He did record it, but he wasn't in the film.
This is off the Snowman.
His version was in the film, but not the single, or the other way round.
No, I think his version isn't in the film. I think his version was the single, which is why he became more famous.
Yeah, but he became famous for being the snowman, and he's not.
And he's not. Yeah, exactly. And
that, like all I know him for is the Bill Bailey joke.
Hello, I'm Alec Jones.
It's all gone a bit wrong for me. That is the first thing that pops into my head when anyone says Alec Jones.
Yeah, but the main thing, the main two, which I thought were quite interesting, was Rowan Atkinson and Tony Robinson have both been.
Oh yeah, I saw your tweet about that.
Rowan Atkinson has got a CBE for services to drama and charity.
What is a CBE?
Commander of the British Empire. You got MBE, which is member.
Yeah.
OBE, which is order of, and CBE, which is commander of the British Empire, which is higher. I think that's
higher than those two.
It's member, order, commander, and then knight.
Yes.
And Tony Robinson has got a knighthood for public and political service. Which is strange because obviously they appeared in the TV series Blackadder together, and obviously Tony Robinson played Baldrick and Rowan Atkinson played Blackadder. Yeah. And in the beginning, Baldrick was the more intelligent one, and Blackadder usurped him and made him
in
a
the
servant.
early ones, wasn't it?
And then since then, Baldrick's status has gone down while Blackadder's has gone up. But it just it tickled me that Baldrick has got a better title now than Blackadder.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about the actual professional themselves, yes, it makes a lot of sense.
Oh, of course it does, because Tony Robinson does all that time team stuff. Yeah, precisely. He's added to the culture of this country by being able to preserve certain sites.
Yeah, and interesting that he wasn't anything to do with the Richard III.
Yeah, no, he wasn't, was he?
Which was a shame. I wanted him.
Whereas Rowan Atkinson
that crazy
mainly
woman in there. Did you watch the documentary?
No, I never did.
Oh, there was the crazy woman she's one of the Richard III's supporters, and misunderstood. He wasn't what everyone said.
Oh, was
and
this
she
the
got
one who
really upset when it turned out that pretty much he was.
He was exactly.
It seems that he was what they said. Died a violent death though.
Yeah,
it was crazy. Pegged, I think, is the term. With a sword or dagger or something
up the anus. Lovely.
That's what it looks like, because it has like around that area there looks like there's like cuts in the bone where it would have
not nice.
And that was after he was beheaded. I think. Was he beheaded? Was it beheaded? I can't remember. Anyway, there's a massive, like, the documentary is very good. If you can find it, it's probably on YouTube somewhere. I would recommend watching it. But, I do like it was Channel 4, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was,
I do like Channel 4 documentaries.
They are good. Yeah, very, very good. But yeah, Tony Robinson said, "I'm thrilled, flattered and a little gobsmacked. I'll use my new title with abandon to highlight the causes I believe in." He also went on to say, "I pledge from this day on I'll slaughter any unruly dragons and rescue any damsels in distress who request my help." Which I think is right. If you become a knight of the realm,
yes,
you should go off.
You should be a
slay
knight,
some dragons and rescue damsels.
Yeah.
So only he could probably get away with saying that, though.
Does he? How many knighthoods were there? Never mind.
Was there two, I think.
Was it just the two?
It was Tony Robinson.
I did see another one.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The former TUC leader Brendan Barber. So he's a head of a union essentially.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And Anish Kapoor, who we said about, yeah. So 3. I'm going to stick my neck out and say, yep.
So they're quite.
So they're fairly rare. I think you've got to do something fairly spectacular to get one.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of the news for this week, I think, and that's taken up enough time.
Yeah.
I do apologise.
That probably is, isn't it? Yeah. But you're talking about Channel 4 documentaries as well. After we spoke about the UFOs last week.
Yes.
There was that very good. It was Channel 4, wasn't it? The Confessions of an Alien Abductee.
That was amazing. I wish we had clips to show actually, but I don't know whether we can get away with it.
I have mixed emotions on things like that, because, like we said, everyone who says they've been abducted by aliens always seems.
Well, what was it
absolutely
I said?
Mental.
I think last week I was like, it's all those people with about 3 teeth in their head staggering around half drunk.
Yeah.
And essentially the people in this documentary weren't far off that.
No. Well, there was one particular woman.
Yeah, what was her name? Chantel.
And she had her hair done like one of the grey aliens.
Yeah, she looked
like it looked like she had extra head.
It was almost like she was a cone head or something like that.
Yeah, and interestingly, she said like she was a multiple abductee, quite a regular thing, and she gets like major anxiety because of it. And she said they move her fags.
Yeah, they go into her house, move her fags from one or her ashtray from the table to the shelf or something,
and crazy things like that. And it always seems to happen more after she has her Kentucky.
She loved. The thing is, it was a complete contradiction what she was saying, because she was like, "Oh, it normally happens around having some takeaway, and I love me takeaway, but it always seems to be once I've had me KFC, I get abducted." And it's like, well, stop eating fucking KFC then.
Yeah, but then she did admit at the end that she wouldn't want it to stop, and she kind of does have an affection for them.
Yeah, it was all a bit strange.
It was weird.
And then the other guy was that local MP as well, who claimed that he was having sex with a Martian and that he had a child. Did you not see that bit?
No, that might have been very beginning. I missed like the first 5-10 minutes of the recording.
Yeah. He has conceived a child.
I saw him almost kill the Channel 4 film crew.
Yeah.
In his car.
Yeah.
What? He thought it was like was it a BMW or an Audi was following them, and he ended up overtaking in the wrong lane.
Yeah. Because he thinks he's being tailed by people all the time.
Yeah.
But our friend that I was talking about last week, Nick Pope, was on there.
Yeah.
Good old 3 pints, and yeah, he made a couple of appearances, which was really what got me putting it out there on the social networks.
It was absolutely crazy. It was brilliant. I enjoy it, but like I say, I have mixed feelings because it makes people watch it and go, "Oh, fucking crazy people, aliens aren't real." Like we said last week, I do believe in aliens. And I do believe people may have been abducted. Yeah. But why do they always go after the mental ones for documentaries?
Yeah, it's
a very biased view, I think.
Yeah, I'm sure there are more...
they have conferences. There was that whole room full of people that have been abducted.
And you're not telling me every single one there is some crackpot.
No, and they just seem to pick out the absolutely mental ones.
Most extreme cases. But this is... I mean, it makes better TV. That's the thing. Yeah.
And there was that woman... what was she? She was the accountant lady whose daughter, she said her daughter was abducted as well, and her daughter actually committed suicide after an abduction or something, which is quite sad. But then she went and had the lie detector test, and it came up that she wasn't telling the truth, and she got really annoyed, got really insulted, really and angry,
stuff. And basically booted the guy. He was the head of the British.
Yeah, he was the head of the authority on it's not
lie detecting.
I can't remember what
I can't remember what they're called.
But polygraph.
Yes.
Polygraph.
Yeah. The Polygraph Association or something.
But if that was me and I genuinely believe I'd been abducted and that came up and said that I wasn't being entirely honest, I wouldn't go mental. I'd be like, "Oh, really? That's weird."
Yeah. But I suppose it's...
And she had a DNA test because she thought she was part alien.
Yeah,
she thought the alien...
this is it. Like you say, it's annoying that they always pick the mental ones.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure there are more kind of logical thinking people out there who have had experiences. But again, it's not as fun to put those people on the TV.
No, it does make it more interesting TV.
Yeah.
It's got to be
and
said.
It was interesting TV.
It was very interesting.
Again, if you go on the 4OD player,
they'll still be up there.
It'll be there for a
week
bit.
or 2 weeks, I think. I don't know how long for.
I think it depends with a lot of these services. A lot of them are there for just 1 week, but if they're really popular, then they extend it. I don't know.
I'm going to move that because that's hovering over the record button. It makes me nervous.
Yeah, just, interesting how we were talking about UFOs last week,
and then
this program came on. Another thing that we talked about last week and that I didn't see until I went up to the hospital radio that night was we were talking about Tulisa.
Oh, yes.
Contostavlos. Or whatever her bloody name is, and possibly being the next Lindsay Lohan. And when I got up into the shop of the Medway Hospital, there was a big front page splash image of her with no top on, and it was some gaudy headline. It was the Daily Star.
Yeah, what was that new picture about? I didn't really...
I don't know, because the weird thing was I went home and I tried to look for it, not because I wanted to, You
wanted to know the story for the podcast.
Yeah, precisely, but I couldn't find it anywhere, not even on the Star's website.
I looked it up.
Did you?
Yeah, I looked up to see the picture. Because she's not an unattractive. Well, she wasn't an unattractive woman.
No.
And I looked it up just to see if it was as you would imagine, and I think it's probably a fake picture, because you would imagine it would be a massive news story if it was real, and the star.
Exactly.
Below, like putting out a fake picture.
No, they're really not. I mean, they're not one of the big four.
It might be true though. Like, who knows? It
might be. Who knows? But what's one thing that is true is, I mean, she's had a really, really shit time, and I do feel quite sorry for her. And in a way, I'm kind of hoping that she falls right off the rails, because it means that she'll content generate for this show, because I want to go after her.
Certain podcasts have their own
own scapegoat, and I kind of want her to be mine, because really
we need an English scapegoat.
Yeah,
we can't keep like Amanda Bynes and Justin Bieber. But the thing is, they're so messed up that there is something. I want us to focus on British. We don't want anything really bad to happen to her. She's
really.
Not had a good life, to be fair.
No. It's been a bit shit, but basically she was she was duped this week. She was offered a part in a multi-million-pound deal to become a Bollywood superstar in a film that was going to be shot over here. But it turned out that it was a hoax. Tricksters posing as film executives had promised her £8 million and global fame, playing a sari-clad British girl who moves from London to India. The former X Factor judge was flown around the world by private jet during 2 months of negotiations and was preparing to announce the deal with a great fanfare last week. But Tulisa 24 has been left devastated after finding out that it was a sophisticated con. Now that is a con.
Yeah, what I read, the version of that I read was that it is possible that the executive was the plant who asked... Really? Yeah. This is what... It was a story I read that's like, was it the Sunday Mirror? Who was it that... What's the paper? News of the World.
Oh, yeah.
News of the World gone.
Yeah.
Is that the one that's gone?
Yes, that's right.
And it's been replaced by the Sunday Mirror or the Sunday Mail or something. And they're the ones that broke the story about her cocaine deal.
It's the Sunday Sun.
The Sunday Sun, sorry. And they are wondering if maybe it was them that done this plant to get that story. So they hoaxed her. That was a version of it I read. And that was just like did they stoop that low? Because there's that law that you're not allowed to trick people. Or you're not, there's like this whole... It's journalism at its worst, isn't it? I mean,
there's a fine line between the thing. It's okay to kind of hack phones, although the hacking thing is kind of a bit sketchy now. But it's okay to kind of sting someone if it's in the public interest.
Yeah, but something like
this really isn't.
But the way they got around it was by having this whole hoax set up, and then can you and the guy was like, we need drugs, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I can get them for you. It might have been that side of it. Because it seems interesting that after that drug thing came out, nothing more has happened from the Bollywood deal. No,
this is true, yeah. But then also she's left the X Factor too.
She would have been made to leave if she would.
Well, yeah, but was she pushed? Did she,
It isn't like this sort of thing, if this sort of stuff keeps happening to her, like she had the cocaine thing and then this... like straight after, it is enough to send someone over the edge, so we'll keep our eyes on her.
But yeah, basically she's kind of locked herself away in her mansion, wherever the hell that is, Hertfordshire I think it is, somewhere, and has now been I think Dappy, who is her cousin, has kind of gone and visited her to give her support. And one person you really don't need support from is Dappy.
No. Well,
because he's a bit of a twat.
The thing is, Liz used to watch that. Was it Being in Dubs or something? There was that.
Did they have their own show?
ITV3. Yeah, they had their own show. And Dappy is actually the brains.
Really?
Yeah. Him and the other guy, Phaser, who's actually very, very talented as well.
Yeah, I get the impression that
he's Tulisa's ex. I believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
But yeah, Dappy's her cousin, but he's actually, he's got his wife and his kid. And he's actually, He's actually quite intelligent.
normal.
He's the brains, and one of the, like, him and Dappy are the brains behind N-Dubs, I
and
think.
she seems to have been highlighted now.
And she's the
as,
face.
Yeah.
And the voice, and she's not great.
So poor her. But apparently, and another thing that happened was a man was arrested for essentially camping on her grounds.
Oh, really?
This guy was like just harassing her,
Like
just
a stalker.
for 2 days or something like that, until he was arrested and taken away. But no one's pressing charges. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on Tulisa.
Maybe we'll have a story every week.
Who knows?
If there is one.
I'm sure there will be.
If not, we'll find someone else as well.
I had to lower myself to reading the Heat World website for that one.
Oh, really?
Rubbish.
Yeah.
Geek news?
Can we call it that?
No, I'm not saying that. No.
Yeah, we did kind of say we were going to do it. The E3.
Yeah, the E3
like
conference.
The console war between
Yeah.
PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One.
Yes.
But it's not the number one. It's
because
it's the word of
it's
the number.
Which is confusing because it's the third edition of the Xbox.
they've called it the one because it's the all-in-one entertainment system. The all-in-one. PlayStation 3 wasn't called PlayStation 1, and that was like an all-encompassing entertainment system.
Yeah, that was a Blu-ray
They've kind of
player.
gone, look, we've got Blu-ray player, we've got music, we've got video, we've got streaming services, and PlayStation 3, like, we done that like 7 years ago.
Catch up.
Yeah, that's how I put it. Like, my defense of PlayStation, because one of my friends at work is an Xbox 360 fanatic.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of like, the Xbox is more for gamers. It's a gaming console. PlayStation 4 is an entertainment system. A PlayStation 3 was an entertainment system, and now like the Xbox has kind of gone onto the entertainment system.
Yeah, I mean,
the one thing that did shock me was how much the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One look alike.
Yes,
they
do,
both
don't
kind
they?
of got the console flat top, half matte, half. Well, I think the Xbox is half is fans and matte, and half is gloss, whereas the PlayStation's half gloss, half matte.
Yeah.
It's crazy, and I don't like the way the PS4 is like a rhombus.
Yeah, it's
I thought it was just the front that was slanted, and then I saw a side view,
but the
and
whole
the back
thing,
is.
it's like that, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not sure I like that.
I don't know. I mean, I probably was always going to get the PlayStation anyway.
Yeah, it's gone back to the PS2 look, I think.
Yeah, it does look a lot more like a PS2.
Yeah.
I don't like the new controllers though, mind you. They look a bit pony.
They look a bit sex toy.
They do, don't they? Yeah, a little bit.
I don't know, but it's interesting. It's supposed to be quite comfortable.
I'm sure, and I've always preferred those over any of the Xbox controllers. The Xbox controllers always seemed a little bit chunky.
The original one was big, but the newer ones are actually a lot smaller.
Yeah. I mean, I have still played newer Xbox controllers.
The thing I like about the new Xbox... See, I am definitely a PS4 fan, but I've got to kind of stick up for Xbox because you're going...
Well, no, I mean, I've got...
Yeah, like I've always been Sony, you've always been PlayStation as well. But the new Xbox One controllers, they call them bumper buttons, which are the R1 and L1 essentially. They're the bumper buttons, but the trigger buttons, which are the ones underneath, actually have force feedback.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so like when you're playing, they will kick back slightly. Like if you're firing a gun, it would have some recoil, I should imagine.
No, that's quite
cool. It'd be interesting to see what developers do with it.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that's quite cool.
After last week's show, I went to a barbecue with some friends of ours up at John and Sam's house.
Xbox house.
No, they were all they're an Xbox house, I believe. No, John's a PlayStation.
I think Sam,
gamer.
His wife's the Xbox.
But they were all kind of talking about it in a way, and I tried to get some people on today, but it was a bit last minute, and it was it's Father's Day today, which we haven't acknowledged.
Yeah. Happy Father's Day, Dad.
There you go.
Even though I've only seen you today already.
And happy Father's Day to you with this brand new present that we have.
Yes, here. My new tabletop boom stand that Tom very kindly advised Liz on.
Yeah.
He done some quite a bit of research on it as well.
It took me about 45 minutes to an hour to look for this particular one. Yeah.
Very good choice.
I thought so. Yeah. Well, it was benefiting me too.
Yeah.
So.
I did have a bit of job trying to work out where to position it best, but I think
it's all new. I think we're doing well.
And it frees up some space for my iPad.
Exactly. See, it's all space saving. Where was I?
The barbecue you were discussing.
Yeah.
Well, they were discussing.
Yeah, and people were just, what the Xbox has got now as well is this ridiculous system where you've got to sign in every 24 hours.
Oh, the DRM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, I mean, if you're playing games, your console has to have been online in the last 24 hours.
But what if you go on holiday? Do you have to get whoever's doing your house sitting to come in and...
No, I mean, you don't have to connect every 24 hours. It's just if you want to play, your system has to have been online within the last... Right. So if you go on holiday and it's not been online... I mean, sort of like 90% of the people, or close to 100%, I should imagine, their console will always be connected.
Yeah, you're hardcore.
So if you turn off your router when you go on holiday, then, But, I mean, you come home, you turn your router on, you turn your Xbox on, it goes online. So now it's online.
Oh, right.
So everyone is going to be connected. I mean, I don't know if you have your PS3 connected, do you?
Sometimes not.
Oh, see, like with me, my PS3 is always connected. Right. It's plugged into my router. I turn it on, it signs in.
Nah, see,
I think that's what a majority of people do.
Yeah.
But I mean, with the Xbox, you're going to have to do that. The only concern with that, it's always online. You have to have a Connect.
Yeah,
it has to be plugged in.
But it's also it's got that Connect system built in now as well, isn't it? And it's always turned on.
That's what I'm saying. It comes
Connect.
with the Connect.
Yeah,
like the console comes with Connect, but it has to be plugged in. And I don't know why. I don't know what's going to happen if you don't have it plugged in.
Well, yeah, this is another thing that we were talking about last week. It was like, well, what's really the point?
But I mean, like people are saying, like I imagine all the games console accessory companies are going to come with covers that you put over the Connect when you're not using it.
Yeah, maybe.
But I think it is just because they are trying to get rid of the controller. They're trying to get people to interact.
Yeah.
It's got the vocal thing, which is quite cool.
Like,
Xbox on and your Xbox turns on. But then, like one podcast I listen to is what's going to happen. Like they have about 5 or 6 systems in one room because they're a YouTube.
Oh, right.
Well, not YouTube. They have their own website, but their videos I watch on YouTube. Rooster Teeth, they're called.
Oh, yeah.
And they play all in one room. And it's like, what happens if someone walks into the room and goes, Xbox off, while they're all recording? It's just like...
Yeah, that's
you can
true.
Really fuck some people up.
Yeah.
I think it has vocal recognition.
Really?
Like with the Connect, like I watched some of the unveiling, the one before E3, the couple of weeks before E3, the guy stepped in front of the Connect, it signed him into his account.
Oh, right.
So I think what it will be, it will recognise your face, it will go, that's that person, this voice is associated with that account.
See, that's worrying.
That's scary, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is scary, but it's kind of cool. The thing I don't like about it is the DRM, like the whole used games issue.
Yeah, where you're not allowed to share the games. You're not allowed to you're not allowed to sell games on if you get bored of it. Or whatever.
I think it is because it installs the game on the system. Like you have to have it installed, but you can play it without the disc.
Yeah.
So it's to stop you installing it and then going, right, here you have the disc now. Give it to your friend, he installs it, here so they've got to have some way. Like I understand that side of it, but then why
then that kind of ruins the whole thing of like going around to your mate's house and playing a game, bringing a game round.
I think I don't know, I've got to be honest, I've heard that and I didn't like it, but I've heard like in America there's a GameStop, the website store. I think they're going to be sort of like a partner, so I think they will probably have the ability to deactivate that game from that account, so it won't have the used game fee. Right. But if you sell it on eBay, the person will have to pay a fee. So you will still be able to play it, and so will they. But they paid an extra fee. So Xbox don't lose out.
Yeah, basically.
I think it's so Microsoft don't lose out. I do kind of agree with that because it's installed on your system. If you're going to carry on playing it, and you sell it on to someone, and then they're going to play it as well, it's kind of like. Well, there's one disc, but 2 instances of the game on 2 separate accounts. Yeah. Why should Microsoft lose out? They've lost out on a license.
Yeah. No, and I get where they're coming from like a piracy point of view and all that kind of thing. Yeah.
But why allow people to install it on the system and play without a disc?
Exactly. It just seems
that's the easiest way to kill that.
Yeah.
Rather than have people go. Ugh. But I think a lot of people will go that way.
I think a lot of games are going to be essentially you're going to have to download it. Then they're not going to be physical copies anymore. It is going to go digital. It will go entirely digital. I mean, the only problem with that is unless you've got everything kind of synced up and everything. I mean, I had a problem with my PlayStation a few years ago where it just died. Yeah. And then I lost all of my save data because I didn't have it saved on my online
that's
account.
where I've got I do subscribe to PlayStation Plus.
Yeah,
so I've got
You got a backup.
I think with the PlayStation, and I know you use memory sticks, don't you? I think you can plug in your memory stick and back up your saves.
Yeah,
to a
I
memory
do
stick.
have. I'd Bought a memory stick that day to
do it.
Yeah.
Oh my god! And then it fucked up.
It was so because in my mind it was like I should probably do that because what happens if? And I got home from work that day, memory stick in hand.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah, I do have PlayStation Plus, which backs up all my saves to the cloud, and that's kind of what Xbox Live is for.
Yeah.
But PlayStation Plus is optional.
Yeah.
Xbox Live, if you want to play certain games online, you have to pay.
Yeah.
I think it's about £40 a year, PlayStation Plus.
But
But every month you get 2 games that you could download.
Exactly, yeah.
And even if they're like, this is an argument I had with my friend at work. He was like, yeah, but they're going to be shit games. It's kind of like, but they might not be. They're not games you want. But you can download them and try them.
Yeah.
And if you do,
you don't have to keep.
I got
them.
Arkham Asylum.
Did you?
Yeah.
Wow.
I've got
See,
Arkham
now
Asylum.
That's a game.
Is it Arkham Asylum?
Or
Arkham City, the new one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Arkham
That
City.
one?
I've got that for free.
Well,
But if I stop my PlayStation Plus subscription,
it goes away.
I can't play it
Yeah.
because it was a free one.
Yeah.
And it's good because you get indie games as well. And I've got one called I've got to be careful now because there's Quantum Break on the Xbox One, but this is Quantum Conundrum, and I've told you about it before, where you get like a special gun where you can change the properties.
Yes.
Gravity.
Yeah.
It's the first-person puzzler sort of thing, which is really cool, and that was free.
Yeah.
And I've got Burnout Paradise, which was free, and I've got Ratchet and Clank, which was free. I could have got Infamous 2. Do you know, it does have its benefits. It's £40 a year
For sure, yeah.
but I don't play the computer a lot anymore.
No, this is the thing, isn't it? Yeah. And kind of, yeah. It just seems like, to me, it seemed like there's a lot of extra add-on that you got to buy for the Xbox that you kind of just get for PlayStation. But then the other way around as well. It's like that.
Yeah, like
40.
Xbox, you get the Kinect for free. Or well, you get the Kinect with the system, the PlayStation. If you want the PlayStation Eye, which looks a lot like the Kinect now, you have to buy it as extra.
And this is
the good thing about the PlayStation. The controller has the built-in light bar.
Oh yeah.
So you don't need a special Kinect controller now.
Right.
The Kinect, fucking
the eye.
the Move, PlayStation Move. I assume. I imagine you probably still will be able to use those, but they've got built-in lights on the controllers,
which is better. And that's why an Xbox now costs an Xbox One now will cost £429 when they come out over here, and a PlayStation 4 will only cost £349.
Yeah,
so
but then you've
PlayStation,
got the add-ons and
well, yeah, and this is what Xbox obviously will say is that ours comes with the Kinect, so you can do all this kind of stuff.
But it's optional for the play. You don't need it.
You don't need it.
What's the point of having a Kinect if you're never going to use it?
Exactly. Personally,
and it has to be plugged in, so you have to find somewhere to put it.
Yeah. Precisely. And from my point, I don't do a lot of online gaming anyway. I prefer my consoles to be playing.
I want to know the story.
Yeah, I'm not interested in playing other people online.
I do like the stories on games, but it's just finding the time. That's why I love the look of Final Fantasy 15.
Oh yeah.
But I know I'm never going to have the time to play it. So do I really want to get it?
I mean, I didn't really have enough time to play the last one, the 13 or whatever it was called.
This one is Final Fantasy 15, or it's Final Fantasy Versus 13-2 or something. Right. It's got a really weird name.
Oh right,
I
didn't
assume
realise.
it's the same game anyway.
I would have thought so because they did a 13-2 anyway.
Yeah, but this is Final Fantasy Versus 13-2 or something.
That's really weird.
But
essentially PlayStation have come out and kind of undercut the Xbox One. I think it'll do them a favour. I think it'll put PlayStation back on top because people are going to be like, well, £80, that's a fuckload of money, really.
Yeah, but if you remember when the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 came out, PlayStation 3 was a lot better.
Yeah.
And then Xbox just kept getting better and better and better and
better.
True,
yeah.
And I think it could be the same thing again. One thing that you're saying about multiplayer games, that you don't really like them. One thing that I do like that they're doing now that I think you might be interested in, there's a game called Destiny. And I don't know if you've seen anything about it. I think it's coming out for Xbox and PlayStation.
Yeah.
But it's a game where you're playing the single player, but you can play single player with your friends. That's kind of like co-op. But you can play the story together.
Oh, right.
This is what it looks like. But also, there's a new thing they're doing. I've seen it in another game called World Events, where you could be playing and then something will happen in the world. Because it's that huge. Something will happen in the world. and then you can go and take part in that world event like a side mission, but everyone around the world playing at the same time can take part in that world event with you.
Okay.
So
that sounds quite interesting.
Yeah. Like, it's like you're playing with your mate and there's just the two of you.
And
there's a world event. This is happening over there.
Yeah.
Let's go over there and see what that is. And then there's people from United States and Australia, and they're all taking part in this mission, and it's part of the story.
Oh, that'd be quite cool, I suppose.
Yeah, it's kind of like, that is so awesome.
Yeah,
and there is another game like it on the Rooster Teeth channel on YouTube, and there's I can't remember what it's called. I looked it up as well. I think it's another D game, but I did look it up the other day just to make sure. And it is that I think that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it sounds really good. Yeah. The other thing I was going to say about Sony is that they're not going to do that 24-hour, the thing where you've got to have it signed on all the time. They're also not doing the thing with the second-hand games, which is, I think, is another thing.
The advert they released about that.
No.
Oh, there was this cool advert about this is how to share your games with your friends, sort of thing. Because it goes again, like, if I wanted to say, you need to play this game and gave it to you, you wouldn't be able to play it without paying a fee.
Yeah.
Whereas with the PlayStation, it's kind of, you need to play this game, you can borrow it, you'll be able to play it. And there's this whole thing, it's kind of like how to share your games with your friends. Step 1. Share your game with, like, that sort of thing. And they're using that as a sort of, this is why you should get a PlayStation and not an Xbox.
Yeah, and to me that works for me.
Yeah,
if I
do like that for the sharing side, from the sharing aspect. But like, I do understand about the second-hand games sort of thing. I understand why they're doing it. And I understand how Sony will use that as a tool to kind of knock Microsoft down.
I mean, and it kind of makes sense.
Holy shit, 56 minutes.
Yeah, no, I know. But they're also bringing out Oddworld again. They're remaking Oddworld, which I kind of look forward to.
After the sides, I like the side-scrolling Oddworld.
Yeah, I don't know whether it'll be very good.
They done a 3D version,
did they?
Didn't they? Yeah. Abe's Exodus, I think it was.
Oh, was that? Oh, right.
I think that was 3D.
Fair play.
But I do like it. Kingdom Hearts 3 as well was a huge thing.
Yeah.
I've not played Kingdom Hearts.
They're quite good.
Yeah,
because it's kind of Final Fantasy with
dark,
Disney characters.
Very dark, yeah. I've not played it. Oh, man.
But yeah, so PS4, Xbox One. I mean, just on terms of cheapness and the fact that I don't do a lot of online gaming, I'll probably go for the PS4 anyway. And also because I have PlayStation games, and hopefully it will be backwards compatible. I haven't. No. Okay, then.
But
why is it that they do that? Fucks me right off. Yeah, sorry.
But PlayStation, Sony, PlayStation, I don't know if they're the same company, separate company. But anyway, for the PlayStation, what they will be doing is, and I don't know if you've already got the games for your PS3. I'm not sure how it'll work if you can kind of like register those games. But what they're doing is like in America, I don't know if you can get it in the UK. There's a thing called On Live.
Right.
Where you can stream console games to your iPad and your PC and stuff.
Oh, yeah. They're talking about doing that for the Vita.
Yeah, and they're doing it with PlayStation 4 as well. You will be able to stream PS1, PS2, PS3 games to your console, so you can still play them.
Oh, okay.
But it's across the internet, so you're playing it on a server somewhere rather than on your console.
Okay.
And it just streams the video. So you will still. I don't know if you'll be able to register your games and then play your games you've already got.
Yeah.
But you won't have to download them and install them.
No.
You will just be literally streaming the video. So you'll press X and it will send a thing saying he pressed X.
It makes sense because then it won't take up any space on your hard drive.
That's it. So
I see.
I'm hoping you will be able to register your games that you've already got.
Yeah, so that you've still got all your save files.
And hopefully you can do it with your old ones if you've still got PS1 and PS2 games, which I have.
Yeah, me too.
I'm hoping you can do that.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
I imagine Xbox will do something like that.
Yeah, I can't see them not.
But they're not doing it yet. So
no. And this is why PlayStation are taking the upper hand at the moment. But then, like you said,
Xbox will implement it, and they will implement it better than PlayStation.
More than likely, yeah. But yeah,
because it's Microsoft,
and they have all the money in the world. So I think that's probably enough on E3.
Yeah. I mean, I was like, yep, Xbox is the one for me. But I'll wait for E3, and now I'm kind of gone,
swinging back the other way.
I do, yeah,
for sure. No mention of the Nintendo Wii U.
No.
Don't care. Not bothered.
That's bad.
The Wii
Did I
itself,
tell you about the list of games? Did I say that last week?
No, they've got a Super Mario Kart.
Well, the list of the upcoming Wii U games compared to Xbox and PS4 is ridiculous. Like let's say Wii U's got a quarter of a page of A4. Xbox and PlayStation have got about 2 pages.
I know for a fact PlayStation have got 140 games coming out.
Yeah.
Are in development, and 100 of them will be out within the first year of the PS4 being released.
That's insane.
Which is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're doing a lot because they've gone for the let's get technical, the AMD processor rather than their own version of a processor. It's made it a lot easier because that's like a PC processor.
Right.
It's made it a lot easier for indie developers to make games.
That's another thing that I read, yeah. But it's not going to be...
something that Xbox have always done.
Yeah.
They've always used PC processors.
But PlayStation are making theirs more open for indie developers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're using the AMD processor rather than their own Sony processor or whatever it is now. Rather than independent ones. So, yeah.
So, lots more games. But, you know, the Wii itself was always just a bit of a... It's more of a having a party type thing, and even then it was fine for a while.
Console, but now you've got PlayStation Move and Connect. So
yeah, and the graphics are infinitely better. It's not as cartoony. Everything on the Nintendo
that's more
is
to do with the game maker, the developer, because like Black Ops 2 they released on the Wii U and it looks just as good. But I don't know, and everyone's gone for that second screen thing. You know, the Wii U have got their second screen.
Yeah.
Well, for the Xbox, they use it on the Xbox 360. You got Microsoft Glass. They call it Xbox Glass, which you can use your tablet. You can download it on tablet, and you can use it as a second screen. And Sony are doing it for the PlayStation 4. You can have a second screen. You can use your PS Vita, or you can use your iPad, or your Sony tablet.
Yeah.
So they're doing the same sort of thing where you're using a second screen, but you don't have to buy an extra like this controller, which you can't buy.
Yeah.
At the moment, I don't know if you can now, but when they released it, you couldn't buy
the Wii U one.
You got the one with your console. That was it. You couldn't buy another one.
I'd imagine they've probably bought some out by now, right?
You'd hope so. If not, at least hope there's a third-party version.
Yeah. Who knows? But yeah, exactly. So, I
mean, we didn't do K. Have we got time? I don't think really.
I don't know whether we have. I mean, it depends. I mean, we can go for as long as we want, really. It doesn't really bother me.
Well, it's like 2:15. We need to get stuff uploaded and be places.
Yeah, maybe. So, yeah, fuck.
I know.
I feel bad if we don't do the ABCs.
Well, we haven't got a guest, so we can't use that as an excuse.
No.
Well, we kind of went special.
We did go special. We went on a bit of a thing. What do we do?
I don't know. How long?
I mean, essentially, we've gone to 1 hour and 10 virtually before.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's go. Let's try and do it. Let's try it. Fuck it. Why not? We'll make it quick.
Try.
So, yeah, this is the ABCs.
Of ABH.
Let's turn it up. Again, I've done that last week as well. Oh, you. Let's try that again.
The ABCs of ABH. What letters today?
K. Now
that always sounds pre-recorded when we say the letter, but we do it live.
I know.
Because we always go right in and really
up it.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah. I think it would be rude of us if we went for a K and didn't kind of like mention our friends a band called Kaleidophone.
Yes.
That is Kaleidopphone.
Indeed.
I read that.
Well done.
But yeah, Kaleidophone. They're a local. They're Maidstone based, but their lead singer's from Portsmouth.
Yes.
From Pompey. They're kind of an indie. I don't know. They're kind of like it's their own sort of sound they've kind of developed, haven't they?
Yeah,
they're a very, very polished, very professional band.
Yeah, I mean, they
unlike us where we go, let's write a song, let's record it.
Yeah,
they kind of go, let's write a song. How can we make it this better? What parts do we need? Let's perfect these parts.
4 months.
Yeah, and they're very good, and they've
which is probably why they've made it onto a record company and made it onto the radio and stuff like that.
They're a very professional, very good band. Yeah, there's 4 of them. Mm-hmm. Before they even started practicing together, they built a studio to record and practice in.
Yep.
Because their bassist, James Holland, he's an entrepreneur, isn't he? He's got the Flight Case company, which supply flight cases to big bands.
Yeah, like Lost Prophets and Muse and
they're very good like that. And then they've got their New Sound Productions, NSP Studios, their sound company. Like and I think most of them I think Wellesley, I know, works there now. He's the lead singer.
Yeah.
Like James Holland works there, Wellesley works there, and I think the other two do part-time work there as well.
Yeah, I think they do as well.
Yeah, like they're a professional company, and then they've got this band that they're just really, really good. I really like them. Yeah, I mean, just play a song rather than trying to describe what they sound
I guess so.
like.
Yeah, they're giving away a free download on their
website. So we're hoping we can get away
on their
with
website,
playlists.
which is www.kaleidophone.co.uk.
Yes, the track's called Wrecking Ball. It sounds a bit like this. We will talk over it.
I walk the street completely new.
Yeah, they're. I don't know if we can compare them to any. And they're very different. Like this song sounds different to
like Mr. Palava or
which is a very fun bouncy track.
And then they've got kind of disco-y type sounding tracks as well, like the disco beat kind of thing going on. It's difficult to pigeonhole them because each song does sound completely different.
Yeah, and actually I said Wellesley was the lead singer. This isn't Wellesley singing.
Is it not?
No, this is Al Holland, who's he's the lead guitarist.
Yes.
Like Al Holland and Mark Wells, they both sing, they both play guitar. But they are very good. It's hard. But I don't know, you should definitely go to the website and download this track so you can listen to it without us talking over it.
Yeah, for sure.
And their album Watch a Tonic is on Amazon. I brought it from Amazon.
Yes, which you can go through abhpod.com and buy it through our banner.
Hopefully it's still available there.
I would imagine it is.
Yeah, and it's a very, very good album as well.
If not, then iTunes, I guess they'll be on there.
Yeah, they're on iTunes, and they're actually recording another album now.
Are they?
And I've heard a few of the tracks, like they play them live. They're very good. If you go to their website and look at their tour dates, they have actually got quite a few tour dates. There are a couple of hometowns.
And Kaleidophone is spelt because it's a bit of a...
I did spell it, but we can do it again if you want. It's EI.
www.kaleidophone.co.uk.
Yes.
Kaleidophone.
Yeah. Just check them out because they're friends of ours.
And they're really good.
And
really
they're
good.
Really, really nice blokes.
Yeah, like you couldn't wish to meet nicer kind of musicians, really. Lovely guys.
Very Dave Grohl-esque, like very nice.
Yeah,
Dave Grohl, the nicest man in rock. Kaleidophone, the nicest band in rock.
In local
Indie
rock.
Yeah, but definitely go check them out. I
can't say anything else really because that's what we want you to do.
Yeah,
so
go and check them out, buy their music.
Yeah, again, there'll be links on the website.
Yeah, definitely.
My K this week is actually something that fits in with movies and stuff. It's he's a film critic and probably the only film critic that I take any notice of.
Right.
His name is Mark Kermode.
All right.
And he works for the BBC. He has
is that a K? I always thought
K.
it would be spelled with the C.
K-E-R-M-O.
Like the commode.
No. And yeah, basically, he's the only film critic I take any notice of because generally speaking, his views match up with my own.
Actually, when I went to the cinema last night and I did say about it, and I'm sure Corky actually said, "Yeah, I haven't heard what Mark Kermode said yet." So
yeah, no, I know that Corky also listens to Mark as well because he is generally of the same opinion. And I think it's important. Like it's not important to listen to someone with the same opinion as you. Sometimes it's interesting to listen to someone with the opposite opinion. I don't always agree with what he says, of course.
Yeah.
I'm slightly more into the bigger blockbusters than he is. He's more into kind of his art house films and stuff like that, which I am less inclined. But then saying that, some of the films that he's talked about in the past on the Radio 5 live show that he presents with Simon Mayo, I've watched because he said that they're really good, and then I've also discovered these things that otherwise I wouldn't have seen.
It's like that whole thing of you're hanging around with your friends and they tell you something. Like people that have the same taste as you might find something that you've not heard of, and then
it's all to do with kind of conversing, really. Yeah. And it's listening to podcasts and listening to the radio and stuff. And I think like
we say, I've found a lot of music and stuff on podcasts. Oh, speaking of Simon Mayo, and he's talking about podcasting.
Yes,
I know poster advertising. Sorry, but yeah, like I've found things on podcasts that I listen to that, like that Meg Myers.
Yeah,
I discovered her through a podcast, and I like her, and that band Courage My Love.
Yep.
Through Tell 'Em Steve,
and it's just interesting, to hear from someone who is essentially he works as he works as a film critic. It's it's bona fide information then. But anything that you can learn about through someone else and then go on to really like is good. He's got a couple of books out as well, one called Real Life Adventures of a Movie Critic. I think it's called It's Only a Movie, and that's the tagline. But the most recent one is The Good, the Bad and the Multiplex, where he kind of goes on big rants about how multiplexes have essentially destroyed the film watching thing, because there are no such things as projectionists anymore. There aren't any projectionists now. It's all done.
It's all digitally. Someone goes up, presses enter,
which is bad because you've got no one up there watching the quality of the film. And I've been to a few in the last year where the ratio's been wrong.
We had that with The Dark Knight. We went to see The Dark Knight, and because it was a new print, it still had some of the wax.
Oh right.
So the top left hand part of the screen was blurred, and obviously there was no one there to spot it and try and. I don't know if they could have spotted it once the because it was actually a print. It was real, so I don't know if there was someone there to clean it up. I don't know if they could have cleaned it up. But we complained about it, and they went, that happens. We're like,
well, it shouldn't, because
we got
if
our money
you
back, so we went and saw The Dark Knight for free.
If you actually employ a person to make sure that it's fine in the first place, it wouldn't happen in the first place, so it wouldn't have to happen. And I don't see why they can't employ, but it's just annoying. Also, he goes on tirades about 3D, which I wholeheartedly believe in too. That 3D is a gimmick, and it will eventually stop. Because you went to see Superman last night, didn't you? We're going to take this. We're going to take this a little bit further, I think.
Yeah, I went to see Man of Steel in 3D. I like I know the problems people have got with it. It's still not perfect.
No.
Like where we were sat over the right hand side of the screen, so the far left of the screen looked a bit ghosty. I understand the colour loss parts of it. It's not a huge amount. I think for brighter films it's not as important.
No.
But if you're going to watch stuff like The Dark Knight Rises in 3D, if you're going to watch dark films, then I agree. And Superman, to an extent, was dark. Man of Steel, sorry, it's Man of Steel, not Superman. It was dark, but obviously it being Superman, he goes out in the daylight. So, and I think with the 3D prints, I think they do enhance, they boost the colour a little bit because they're aware of it.
Some of them do.
I think they should.
They need to, because
I think a lot of it is to do with the studio itself and the editing. Like, here's a normal print with the colour, right? Here's the 3D print with the boosted colour. That should happen. But then if you boost black, what's going to happen with it?
Exactly.
It's not going to look right.
And
I think the problem is they need to probably get the technology for the filters, the polarizing lenses.
Because
they need to get
you
that
lose 30% of the light.
I don't think it's 30%.
It is genuinely 30%.
I kept, because I knew you were saying that, and I thought it might come up. I was going, that's not a lot. I mean, that 30% is close to half, and I don't think it's that dramatic. Anyway, but I like 3D as long as it's done really well.
But I mean, I went to see Star Trek Into Darkness. I've seen it. I think I saw it 3 times actually in the end, and I saw it twice in 3D and once in 2D. The 2D one, I could see everything that was happening. There was no blurring, because that's a thing that you get.
I think 3D pulls your focus away from a
stuff
lot of
that
what's
even
happening. What's happening.
It pulls your focus into the foreground. You can't see what's going on in the background. And if there are things flying in the foreground and your main character's in the mid, you can't see the main character. Is the bit right at the beginning of Star Trek Into Darkness where Spock is in the volcano.
I've not seen it.
He's being dangled into a volcano, so there's lots of ash and flying things that look great in 3D. But he's swinging through the air on a rope that's suspended from the bottom of a shuttle. And he's swinging through. You can't see him.
There was a bit like that in Avatar, which was.
Yes.
Where you got the
you've got the floaty.
Even when the tree goes down, you got the ash. And I thought that's amazing. And like if you focus on the bits of dust, then you're not going to see what's behind it. It's like real life.
True.
If I focus on this pop filter, I can't see my screen, but then I can refocus on the screen, and then I can't see the. it's that sort of thing. It's like watching real life. You have to focus on what you're watching. But with 3D, because it's in a film,
it chooses what to focus on because it puts the foreground in better quality than it just seems to be that way.
Yeah, I mean, it does have a lot to do with the editing side of it. I think the dust should have been out of focus, so you're not paying attention to the dust. Is that the fault of the 3D or is it the fault of the filmmaker?
Well, this is it.
People need to get used to working with 3D to make it work.
It's still an infant form of
I think
technology.
it's good. I think the potential's good, and I think it is a little bit extra.
Yeah,
you don't need it.
I think there are certain films that can do with 3D. Star Trek Into Darkness actually was quite good. Their use of 3D in that was pretty good. I did
Man of
enjoy
Steel
it.
was good. It was very subtle. Like
they
didn't use it as a tool.
Yeah,
like for things flying at you. If things flew at you, it was because they were going to fly at you.
Yeah.
And it didn't feel like they went, we're going to make this fly at you to make you jump.
That's right.
Like the old
like kind of slasher ones.
3D, yeah.
And Avatar was good because it gave that massive depth
to
Cameron,
isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. He wouldn't do a film if it weren't.
He pioneers technologies and he uses it perfectly, like with Titanic and the ship. Like,
yeah.
We're not done there. It's Chloe.
And essentially, but what's come out, I saw a story in the news this week where essentially sales of 3D films were going down. And I mean, it could be argued that it's because it's, you know, certain films really don't need to. People are preferring to see certain films in 2D. And I think the big blockbusters probably need it. It just seems to be and maybe it's price. I mean, it costs £10 to go to the cinema now. If you don't have a Cineworld Unlimited card like I do,
then it's £1.
It's £1.50.
Yeah, I think a lot of it as well is a majority of the cinema goers are the general public. Yeah. And when 3D came out, they're like, 3D's really cool. Yeah, yeah. And now they've kind of got over the 3D's really cool. They've kind of gone, 3D's really expensive. Yeah, yeah, precisely. Like I think the Odeon we went to last night, it was $9.95. Ridiculous price to start with. £10 for a cinema ticket. Yeah. That's ridiculous. I think that's extortion, I think. Oh, for sure, yeah. But yeah, £10 for the cinema. Chloe's stamping downstairs. It's £10 for the cinema ticket. We went 3D, it cost $11.95. Yeah. That's like an extra £2. Mm-hmm. Like, and if you extrapolate that by the amount of people that you're taking, I had my own glasses. Yeah. Oh, do you have to pay for your own? See, at Cineworld, you don't have to pay for your own glasses if you take it along. No. I don't know if you do now. I remember the first time I went to Avatar, you paid for the glasses. If you didn't pay for the glasses, it was a general admission price. Yeah. But I think now you don't have to pay for your glasses. No. But they still charge you as if you were paying for the glasses. It's really annoying. Like I say, it would have been $9.95 if I wanted glasses. Sort of like £12. That was originally. Now it's, you want to go 3D? You've got your own glasses. That's £12. Yeah, like they're kind of taken out the optional cost of the glasses. It's a bit. I think they still do it at Cineworld. Like I say, I think you still get them for free. I think you do. I don't know, but because I'm sure one of. But that's what I'm saying. 3D is more expensive, even if you bring your own glasses. Like it should be. It's normal price if you've got your own glasses. If you want glasses, you pay extra. Yeah, that's what it should be, and that's what it was originally. But now they're just saying, no, it's more expensive for 3D. I don't know. But it's really annoying. 24% of the gross box office in 2010 was from 3D, 20% in 2011, and only 18% this 2012, just gone. So there is definitely empirical evidence to show. And there's more 3D films as well, so it should be going up. Should be going up. Or... I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's just... I have a problem with it. I hope, if it gets better, then I think the big problem with it is the glasses themselves. Yeah, like people they're not comfortable. No, and especially when I already wear glasses, and then I've got the 3D glasses over my glasses. Yeah, it's just a bit of a pain, isn't it? Really. But yeah, I like it. I like films like Man of Steel. I will see in 3D. Like Avengers I saw in 3D. I don't think I saw Avengers in 3D. It doesn't really bother me. I went to see Toy Story 3 in 3D because it was only showing in 3D. The 3D did nothing at all. Might as well have had the glasses off and watched the thing. I wouldn't. The subtle 3D again. Was that... no, that was made in 3D as well.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if I would have gone and seen that in 3D though, because action
an animation.
films in 3D, awesome.
The thing with digital
saying
animation...
that, I saw Beauty and the Beast, the 3D conversion, and that was really good. They've done that really well.
But the thing with 3D animation, like all the Pixar stuff, it's already shot in 3D. Like, it should be amazing.
Yeah.
But it doesn't add anything.
Well, no, but apparently Cars was really good in 3D.
Really?
Yeah. I never saw that, but I don't know.
I just think sometimes
I'm a fan of it if it's done right. I understand why people don't like it.
I generally don't like it at all.
Yet you still go and watch 3D films?
Because they don't give you the choice.
Well, you do. You get a 2D showing and a 3D showing.
Yeah, the 2D showing is on during the day when no one can go. They do it on purpose to try and make more money out of us, and I think it's wrong.
Yeah, they should have 2 simultaneous showings.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to see Man of Steel on Wednesday at an 8:30 showing. It's the only. Luckily, it's a 2D showing. It's a 2D showing in the middle of the evening. But usually the 2D showings are reserved for about 4 or 5 o'clock when most people are still at work. I just think it's a bit cynical.
So we're going to do a Man of Steel review next week when we both seen it, because I don't really want to ruin anything for you.
I guess so.
I know you're not a huge fan of Superman.
I'm not a big Superman fan.
Neither am I.
But I will go and see it because it looks damn good.
Yeah. See. Yeah.
I did go and see Behind the Candelabra this week, which was the biopic of the piano player.
Yeah, I know. I'm not even going to try it because it's going to drive me mad if I try and think of who it is.
Why can't I think of it? I did a blog anyway. No, L.
Oh, I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, was it good?
Yes, it was. Liberace.
Liberace, very gay.
Yeah, extremely the gayest thing I've ever seen. But really, really good time. Yeah. Also goes really dark and poignant towards the end because everything kind of falls apart. But yeah, Matt Damon and Michael Douglas as lovers. I never ever thought I'd see Matt Damon shafting Michael Douglas.
But you did.
In a film. But I did.
Yeah, all I would say about Man of Steel is don't go expecting the Christopher Reeve Superman.
No, I'd imagine. Well, it's produced by Christopher Nolan. It's a new beginning, isn't it?
Expect Dark Knight Superman.
Yeah, it's not.
But with daytime shots.
Yeah, as opposed to everything being shot at night.
Yeah. And try not to be put off by windows exploding. Like these are the sort of little things that kind of take me out of it.
Right.
Like in Avengers when like Hulk's climbing up the wall and smashing through buildings and it's just smashing stuff.
Yeah.
In Man of Steel, when at points there's like people flying through office blocks, like through walls and stuff, explosions
for no reason, explosions in things that aren't explosive.
It could be that there might have been a gas pipe going through there, and then there's a spark from the steel. But if you've got to try and figure that out while you're watching the film, it takes you out of the film.
Yeah. That's always a little bit of a bone
it is.
Contention.
It was one of those things. It's kind of like they do it for cinematic effect. But I'm thinking that wouldn't happen.
Yeah. See, some of us think too logically
about
these things. But
which is why we're not
understand.
religious.
But what?
We think too logically.
Yeah.
Which is why we're not religious.
But
because we use logic.
Okay.
Sorry, that was just a joke. That was a callback because I said about the logical.
I didn't want to bring religion into it.
No. It was just a callback from our religious special. Anyway.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a lot of things. If you're brought out of a film by stuff like that, is the film doing its job properly? Yeah. It's obviously not holding your attention in the way that it should.
Yeah, I wasn't even aware who was going to be in it either, so I was a bit confused when Kal-El was played by
Russell Crowe.
Yeah. I was like, oh, Russell Crowe's in it.
Yeah, it's weird. I noticed him.
Jor-El, sorry, not Kal-El. Kal-El's actually Superman. Yeah.
Or Nicolas Cage's son. He's called Kal-El.
Yeah, he's called Kal-El, isn't he?
Yeah.
But yeah,
poor kid.
Yeah. But yeah, I wasn't expecting it, so I was like, oh, okay, he's in it. I didn't know.
But we may go more into depth
next
on
week,
Man of Steel next week.
Yeah,
because we've taken this well over our time.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, for this week, that has been Anywhere But Here. I've been Tom.
I have been Ant.
Bye.
Bye.